Hi everyone, welcome home. Jerrell here, checking in. I haven't made a video in a while. I thought I'd better check in and say hello to you all and let you know how things are going. I apologize for not uploading new videos and sharing more. I really want to make the time and share more videos with you all, especially with the instruments and people who have asked questions. But work has been tough. I run my own business, and the past month, normally I work around 120 hours a week. There have been a lot of demands over the past month, so I've been working more than 130 hours a week, and I've been getting around 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night. So that's not real fantastic. That's probably not great, but I barely get any sleep. I wake up first thing in the morning and I think of all the work that I have to do, and I get to it, and all day long, no breaks, no stopping. I wake up and I'm full bore work at the fastest pace I possibly can until about 2:30, and then I stop, and then I just hope that my brain will stop working so I can get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Then I get up first thing and work again. So I haven't been able to upload videos with the instruments and the music, so I apologize for that, and I hope that I can get back to that pretty soon. So it's kind of funny. I kind of wonder if the kid version of me, or the 15, 16-year-old version of me, if they knew where I would be at this point in my life, what they would say, what you would say, because I think the 16-year-old me didn't ever think I would end up at this point. One of these overworked, just a sort of a disappointed adult, that doesn't have time for anything but work, and only work and nothing else. And I just think it would be funny if 16-year-old me knew that I would end up here. So unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, I'm going to have to keep working this kind of workload. It's a real bummer. And that's just what it is. That's what happens. That's what happens when you try to run your own business, and if you're working for yourself, you just got to put in the work hours. So it was my decision to do that, and you just got to stick with it. When you make a decision, you've got to stick with it. If you've made a choice, and despite things being tough, you've got to stick by your guns. If you've made a choice, you better stick by it. You're going to have to deal with the consequences. So unfortunately, I haven't been going to my music nights, to play Irish music at the pub. I'm in a tough spot, and I needed to I normally with my Irish club will play it Paddy's Day, but I'm in a position where it's like I'm not in a position where I really have time for that, and I'm already not in it. You've got to be like spot on when it comes to performing music. You've got to be well rested. You've got to have good energy for that. You've got to have heaps of practice and rehearsal, and I don't have time for rehearsal. I'm barely getting any sleep, but my Irish club wouldn't let me get out of it. So I have to play Paddy's Day, and that's just how it is. If you're honorary Irish, you're basically Irish, and there's no escaping that. And Paddy's Day is very important, so I'll be playing Paddy's Day. I'm gonna have to find some way to practice and rehearse ahead of time. So boy howdy. Anyway, how are you guys all doing? How are you doing? It'd be nice to hear from you. The regulars that I like to hear from you. I've missed hearing from you guys in the comments and whatnot. I do apologize. I haven't been able to upload music, but my hands are so full with work at the moment. I'm running a Kickstarter campaign for one of my current projects, and so not only is that, my hands are totally tied with that, but I need to be developing my commercial project simultaneously. So it's an immense amount of work. And there's always the looming threat that everything that I have set out to accomplish leading up to this point, every decision that I've made in my whole life will result in complete and abject failure. And that's always looming close behind. So you have to keep working, knowing that every single thing that you do there's a very strong chance that it could just lead up to complete and utter failure. And that is just something you live with, and you've got to just keep moving forward and aiming to succeed, despite the fact that there may be a very small chance of that happening. So that's been my year so far. 2024 has been brutal, but I have really, really enjoyed hearing about Madame Web. Madame Web is my favorite movie of all time right now. I haven't seen it, but I certainly enjoy hearing people on YouTube complain about Madame Web and the Willy Wonka situation. If you know what that is, the Willy Wonka scam in Glasgow, I really enjoyed hearing about that. So those things have brought me some laughs. Anyway, I just wanted to check in and say hello to everyone. I'm hoping within 2 or 3 weeks I can get back to making videos about instruments. It's 2 a.m. I'm quite tired, but I still have more work to do. So I'll get a couple hours of sleep and then up first thing in the morning. Anyway, I hope I can do more music for you guys.